Hey, this is Kirk from Brother B's Bees here in Killen, Alabama. It is Friday, March the 4th. It is 9:30 in the morning and it's already up to 61. The bees are flying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an inspection of this hive because it's growing so fast. I think I need to add a box to it. I'm also going to be converting most of these hives from dry sugar to sugar water. So come along, enjoy the fun. This particular colony is really growing and she is laying, and they have just been going through the dry sugar. So my plan is to convert them over to wet sugar or to sugar water. Try not to put too many staples in my wrap because I can reuse it every year. Roll it up and put it back on next winter. Before I open this up, I want to mention when I was in here earlier, they got stirred up, and that's why I'm smoking. I only smoke them if I feel like I need to, but if you get stung, bee stings don't really bother me like they used to. I mean, they hurt when they sting, but I don't really swell up and so forth like I used to. But I have found this product, After Bite, works pretty well on bee stings. And so anyway, if you're looking for something that might help you, it's got a little roll on. You just take that and roll it on wherever they stung you. Pretty handy. All right, let's take this thing apart. So let's shoot a little of this up in there. Clean up what they put right there in the middle. Let's see what's going on. So, got hive beetles. Pull out this phone, it'll let me zoom in a little better. Alright, you can see a video of a video. Zoom in, you can see those hive beetles that are caught. Quite a few hive beetles on there. Oh, it's a boatload on this side. Again, you do have a few bees that get caught in there. So that's something you got to think about. That's a lot of hive beetles it caught. Look at that. A couple of live ones right there. Several live ones. Let me kill them. So I need to put me a new Swiffer sheet on here. So let's see what's going on in here. I'm trying to see how much she's laying. Trying to see if I need to add a box of frames once they've got 80% combed out and they're working pretty well, pretty covered, then I like to add a box. So that's really what I want to decide with this one. This one seems to be ramping up the fastest this spring. So if I only have time to look at one colony today, this is the one I want to look at. I hang on to there you go. I trapped her in there, but she looks like she's not worse for the wear. So let's look for the outside here. See what's going on. This side looks like the least worked. I don't know if they combed this one at all. Well, they combed it. So they combed this one. There's not really anything in there, but it is combed out. Let's see what the outside looks like. Okay, they haven't combed this outside. They've been really busy. This has been a great colony. I bought this as a nuke from, so if y'all can see some dead nettle growing there by this colony. But this is a nuke that I bought at Barnyard Bees. I wasn't planning to buy a nuke. I was speaking in the area and just happened to go by, and they had some nukes that people had ordered and not claimed. So I bought one of them and brought it home. So this is the second frame in on what would be, I guess, the eastern side of this colony or of this hive. See a drone there on the outside. Don't see tons of drones. Now there's quite a bit of bee pollen here. I'm going to get my iPhone. You can see up close a little better with it. But you can really see it down in there. You've got nectar bee pollen. This is the second frame in from the eastern side of the hive, and it is the side that's toward the middle of the hive. This colony's really growing. See, that's combed out. This looks like an older frame I put in here. It doesn't look like one that they combed out. There's nothing in that. So the outside frames on both sides really do not have any food in them. It looks to me like all but the outer frame on each side is pretty covered in bees. So one of the things I'm going to do is add a box of frames. I don't know how well you can see it, but like that bee right there, she has a lot of yellow pollen in her pollen baskets. Alright, I'm going to separate these and see if we can find the queen, see if we can find some brood. Typically, she's going to be more towards the middle. She's also, not always, but typically, she's also typically going to be on the side away from the sun when I open the hive like this. So since it's prior to lunch, the sun is coming in from this side over here, kind of from the, it's going to be the southeast, and so I expect to find her on this side of a frame. There's no brood out here. See worker bees. I see an occasional drone. I don't see any down in there. It's a big drone there in the middle. Two big drones in the middle. And the reason I like to take the outside frames out first is it gives me a little more room to pick up frames. I suspect she'll be on one of these three on the side facing me. Let's see if that plays out. Now we've got brood here. So you can hopefully see there on the camera. Capped brood. So there's lots of capped brood on this frame. We've got bee bread on the outside, some nectar on in the corners. I just want to see if I can see any larvae. Look towards the sun. Yeah, I see a few larvae. Yeah, larvae all down in that section. A lot of different colored bee bread. Yellow, red, orangish. There's nectar here in the corner. There's larvae right down in there. And you can see all the bee bread. Capped brood. She's doing well. Now a lot of times, if I can see on that camera, there's stinger in that. A lot of times when I'm out here, I just wear a hood and not my full suit, just because the suit's so hot. I wear a long sleeve t-shirt and they can still sting through it, but I found it's a little easier to get the stinger out. I can just kind of pull on it, and often I can just kind of pop the sleeve and the bee will fly off of it. I can kind of pop it like that. Alright, let's see if we can find her. What I may do is just do a quick look of the shady side on each of these others and see if I see her, because I know she's laying brood. I really don't expect her. I do see some drone brood up in the corner. Most of this is worker brood. I don't see her on this, and I really don't expect to, because there's not much room to lay. That side's filled up. So I'm going to expect to see her on a frame that has room to lay. And the reason she wasn't toward the middle is the middle is full. Now when all of this hatches out, this colony is going to absolutely explode. So I am going to pour the food to them. Good gracious, look at all that brood. So I'm going to add a box today so she can't cross back to another frame on this one frame I was looking at. There she is. So she was, I mean, she may not have been here the whole time, but this is the, what would have been a third frame in on the western side, but it was on the shady side. So she is right in there. That's her. So let's see if we can't pull out. I want to get a shot of her. She's a really good queen. You can see that's actually her laying. She's sticking her back end down in there. You're actually watching a queen lay. Or she'll move to a new cell, put an egg down in that cell, and she'll move to another one and do the same thing. She just put her abdomen down in another one. There you go, she's doing it again. So you're getting to watch. Pretty cool thing. Good queen. Now I'm here at what I call the church ladies colony, because I use this as an illustration in a couple of sermons. But this box here, this medium box, has 10 frames in it that I added for them. And then I've been using this top feeder as a dry sugar feeder, but I'm putting the dome back on it so they can't crawl up in it. And I have to use a weight on this because when it's out of sugar water, I found on this particular one, they push out from under it and the bees get out in here. And so I need a little bit of weight to keep them from doing that. So what I'm going to do is I've got my bucket of sugar water over here, and I'm just going to fill that up with all that it'll hold. So I'll find my handle, there it is. So I'll just fill that up with sugar water, and they'll probably go through it pretty quickly. Tap, sometimes it'll draw them up in there so they discover it. Okay, the church ladies colony is ready to grow.